I'm not late. You can't prove anything. Actually, technically, according to the time on my PC, I'm early. I mean, that's a thing. According to the time on my PC, I am early. Look at that. Look at that. And yet, YouTube, the site, was sitting there going, "Oh, we're just waiting for the streamer." I'm like, bruh, the time on my PC is very right. That's my ramble for the morning as we give it a minute for everyone to come in. We'll see what's what as people want to turn up. How are people doing today? How are people doing? How are people doing on watching the video on demand? How are you guys doing? 9:59. See? 9:59. And yet YouTube was telling me that I was late. Google and YouTube, sort it out. Joseph Games, how you doing? How you doing? Just gonna give this a hot minute. Your channel really rings a bell all of a sudden. Why does your channel ring a bell to me, Joseph Games? Was I looking at some of your stuff yesterday? Hold up. Hold up a hot minute. I think I was, you know. That was it, the Red Plus Plus Wonderlock. Let's bring up the old live dashboard again, and we'll get into this, shall we? At least this is all set up properly. It's good to know. Good to know. Right. Let's get to the grid for round 17 of season 2 of the Formula 1 World Championship. Red Plus Plus hard mode. Yep. Yeah, I started playing it. It's even on my channel because, you know, I just kind of play whatever the hell I want. I started playing it. I got like halfway through, but then I stopped making that content to make F1 2016 content. I couldn't dedicate the time to both. I aim to pick it up again. I've been playing it casually recently. It mainly caught my attention because I saw the video of like the, what was it? It came up in my recommended. I think it was like the last one you did, not the death montage, the Latios, like the Latios and Latias, like the Eon Twins or whatever you'd called it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I saw that. I was like, oh shit! Didn't realize they were in the game.
Are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where per driver
Verstappen on pole. I am right at the back, P17, because qualifying was an absolute shambles.
So that data can be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind is all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on the setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Well then, after an
You see the fairground in the back of the Japanese circuit. I think Abu Dhabi's got something. Like I think they've got like Ferrari World or Ferrari Land, something along those lines. And I think there used to be one near the Nürburgring as well. I vaguely remember, but the Nürburgring, you know, is hit and miss. Oh, that looks like a lovely strategy. I hate hard tyres. They're the worst. They are actually the worst. I'd love to avoid the hard tyre if I could. I don't need to start on the softs because the softs don't really go very long. Can I start on the mediums? I can start on the mediums and then push this stop back. So like lap 8. And then I could go. I don't see the benefit in this whatsoever. If the hard tyre is the mandatory set, then Christ. But there could be a safety car, so there could always be changes. I see the benefit of going longer in the first stint and then stopping later and having fresher tyres. So that's what I'm going to go for. I mean, I don't even know what that strategy is. Then again, apparently that's only 8 seconds. 8 seconds slower. Let's take a bunch of fuel out as well. Was it 27 laps? We'll start with 25. We'll easily save 2 laps of fuel. Easily. Let me turn my TV down real quick. Oh yeah, Hamilton's down in 16th because he got a grid penalty. I don't know who he hit in qualifying, but that's the thing. Hamilton's also like fighting for the championship with Daniel Ricciardo.
We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the
So Hamilton's going to start on the softs. You know, he's in the second fastest car. He'll be able to climb the field on those soft tyres. Sainz on the mediums. Didn't quite see what Grosjean had on him. I could pass Hamilton and go find out, but you know. I'm not good around Japan. Disclosure for anyone either just joining or watching this back as an on-demand. I'm not good around here. Like, I lose about a second in the first sector alone and then fail to claw it back. And, well, nailed it. Goes to show how much attention I was paying. Oh, we're going to find out what tyres Grosjean's got on. Come on, I want to see. I want to know. No! Okay, well, that's, Well, I suppose we get to kick back and wait for the rest of the grid to come round. Positives, right? Positives. Hey, Hamilton. So how is everyone doing this morning? I say this morning, it's you know, 10:08 AM, BST. Gotta love a bit of BST. No, Verstappen. Wait, so who's second? Okay, Ricciardo's second. Then you got Rosberg, fourth. Vettel's third. I assume that's Raikkonen. Yep. And then everyone else is just miles back. Magnussen up in 6th and Palmer up in 7th. My old team represent. Drove for Renault Season 1. Got a win round here actually with an absolute genius one-stop. Full advantage of the safety car used. Hopefully we get one this evening. Or today. Otherwise it's going to be a pretty... yeah. We'll see. Malaysian Grand Prix didn't go my way yesterday. Crossed the line 10th due to a time penalty. We got 13th. Grosjean did get points though in that race. Hopefully that's what we can get. We're in a fight for the Constructors' Championship with Renault and Williams. Renault having a bit of a resurgence here. We build towards the lights. Lights are out And away we go. Stick it into Rich off the line. We've got a good start. Past Kvyat. Past Hamilton. Up the inside of Grosjean. Yellow flags into turn 1. And we've chipped off a bit of our front wing, as we did in the race yesterday at Malaysia. Palmer's been spun out, so that's good news for me. I can take Palmer being spun out. But we've chipped off a bit of the front wing. So that's definitely not ideal. We're going to have to live with that for the opening few laps. Came in just a bit too hot as everyone was slowing down under the yellow flag conditions. But we're now up into 13th. So we've gained 4 places already. Palmer up behind us on the soft tyre. Hopefully he will remain there and he can wear those out and not get back into his better position. That'd be ideal. We'll keep our current strategy. Thank you, Jeff. I don't think the front wing's bad enough to warrant a pit stop just yet. Saying that, the first sector is not going to be good to drive. So let's go back into fuel saving mode now. Standard mix. We can save a bit of fuel because we've got like 3 fuel efficiency upgrades, so we'll be able to save quite a bit. Oh, the understeer. Palmer's got a run on us. Gonna have a look down the inside of 130R. Think he might get us here. Oh, he's eased off. Pushed me out wide. Yellow flag. Alonso spinning. Oh, and he's hit Magnussen. And that's what I needed. That's what I needed. Safety car. But first of all, I want to see that crash. That was, what? So, it was Alonso that spun. Why did Alonso spin? They're 3 wide into 130R. The AI is mental. Tapped Bottas. He's coming across the track. Then he hits the Force India. And Magnussen just plows into him. Good God almighty. That was a crash. Let's see that from a few perspectives. Usually when I fully edit these, you would be able to appreciate it more. But I need to have a look at this. So let's hear from Palmer, sorry. So Palmer's up the inside of me. Going down towards 130R. He turns in, eases off. Alonso is spinning at this point. We managed to avoid him due to being out there, and Palmer just didn't take any kind of avoiding action. Wow, okay. So Palmer's out the race. We'll get one more perspective from onboard Alonso. So he pulls to the inside of Hulkenberg. Bottas just nips him. Alonso coming back on dangerously, it must be said. Wow. That was a big incident. Okay, well, we're going to fit the hard tyres now, and we're going to come in and change our front wing. This is the opportunity that I needed to be able to do that, and it means I won't lose too much time. It does mean I have wasted my well, I haven't wasted the medium tyre as such. I could always put them back on, I suppose. I could ask for, like, set mediums. I mean, I've only got this one set, so they might not want me to go back onto it, but, you know. We'll see what the game gives me the option to do. We're going to be right at the back of the pack. Button's come in as well, who was quite a way up there for McLaren. I suppose I can look at it in the positive, as that's one guy in the Constructors, or one guy from the team I'm concerned about in the Constructors out the race. That's like the one thing I can see of it so far, but yeah, lap 1 safety car around Japan. We'd be in a much better position if I hadn't chipped my front wing. Again, I've managed to do that 2 races in a row. So it's back on the recovery drive. Line up behind Button. You'd imagine Alonso would have pit for repairs. You would assume he would have pit for repairs. So we've got Button 20th. Force India just ahead of him. That might be a McLaren ahead of him. That could be why Button's so far down the field. Then again, he was ahead of Alonso on track, though. I'm very, very confused by this, as it stands at the moment. That is going mental at the top there. Stay behind. But look at it. It's going mental. The interesting thing to note here is this means that all the front runners on soft tyres will be able to take their tyres a couple of laps longer, but also you usually have to pit if you're running softs in Japan. Round about like lap 5 or 6, Ricciardo comes out the pits with another set of soft tyres. That's okay. So they'll be pitting at the end of the safety car stint. Magnussen in and has fit mediums. That makes more logical sense. Hopefully the safety car's not out too long. For those just joining, safety car brought out end of the first lap because of a big collision with Jolyon Palmer and Fernando Alonso. Alonso was going 3 wide in 130R and got tapped in the side by Bottas while trying to rejoin the track. He had contact with Hulkenberg, forcing him into a spin. We were out on the runoff area, so we managed to avoid him. But Palmer, who we were battling with, took him out. Well, hit him, I suppose, really. The joys of the phone going off when you're streaming is just, you know, it makes me look like the most professional man in all of entertainment. Trying to tell me to stay behind Button, Ricciardo, Perez, I think I saw in there, Harrianto. It's always been a thing in this year's game. Like, I don't know if it reads it just based upon your placement of the track and who's in front of you. So if you're like out of the safety car queue, if you're like over on one side of the track, it confuses it a little bit. I imagine that'll be improved in 2017. My assumption would be. Hopefully safety car comes in at the end of this lap. That'd be ideal. No one else pitted. Not too sure where Hamilton is in the shuffle. Cool, we've nearly saved all the fuel I took out at the start to give us an advantage of a lighter car. I suppose that means I can run him rich actually after the safety car. Save it later. Might as well save it now though. So on the restart, our concern is going to be getting ahead of Button. Of course, because he's on the same tyre as us, while keeping Magnussen behind us. He's in a faster car. In fact, Button's in a faster car with a third slowest car on the grid. Keep Magnussen behind us. He's on a compound softer. Button's on the same compound. We were not going to be able to chase down Ricciardo. Safety car is in this lap, so that's good. We won't be able to chase down Ricciardo because he is too quick. So we need to get more up behind Button here. So let's put this into Rich. Prepared to resume racing. Green flag. We've been caught napping a little bit. Yellow flag. Immediately. Not too sure what that's about. And we are racing again in Suzuka. Trying to catch up to Button. We haven't got a good exit out of the chicane. We're in the slipstream though. A couple more guys coming to the pits. That was to be expected. Utilising some of the extra runoff. No real way through the first sector. Just going to have to sit on his gearbox, I think. Oh, lost the back end a little bit on traction. Put us out a little bit through Dunlop. Coming up to the Degners. Degner 1 is a fast right. Needs to be slower and calmer through Degner 2. Car was a little bit out of control under brakes. It's going to be a dry one, this race. Ricciardo being held up by the slower cars ahead of him, though. That's not going to help him in his title fight. Grosjean is up there, from what I'm seeing. Grosjean is on the hard tyre as well, so expect him to go long. Come up now. Spoon. Here we go. Are we going to get much slipstream off of Button? We're gaining. We are gaining through 130R. Oh, we've run it out wide. Can we make a big lunge and move into the chicane? We're going to think about it very last minute. Oh, I didn't want to lose a bit of my front wing. Had to brake. And that meant I've lost out in the traction zone. But I think we might be able to get him into turn 1. Yep. That's it. Through on Button into turn 1. Alonso now ahead of us in the McLaren. He's on soft tyres. Not too sure what his strategy is going to be, because he'll have to be pitting soon, I imagine. There's a train of cars ahead of us. Let's try and catch up to these guys as soon as we possibly can. Well, Ricciardo is still in this shuffle behind Harrianto. Look at that. Hard tyres are still set for the next pit stop as well. That's good to see. I think we're going to have to go double hards and then soft at the end. It's almost like a reversal of the strategy that the game was telling us to run at the start. A bit deep. So it says Alonso is running with damage, which you'd expect. Button behind us. Is he going to have a look into 130R? He'd be very brave, and he lifted off. We still had to go a little bit wide there due to the situation. Using as much curb as possible. Alonso and Ricciardo duck back in. So you see the soft tyres haven't worked out for them. The AI has not been very smart. DRS now enabled. We're up into 13th due to up into 11th due to the pit stops. Both Manners ahead of us. Look at that. Both Manners ahead of us. And Grosjean, my boy Roman Grosjean, is running in 3rd place. Apparently I'm getting a strategy change request. I've just seen it there. I'm not going to look at that because I'm busy driving. Jeff can look to try and suggest that at another point. What does he want to do? No, thank you. We'll stick to this strategy. Bit of a corner cut. Coming through, up towards the hairpin. Oh, taking that too tight. We're going to lose out a lot on traction against the Manners. Here we go. Through Spoon. Got lovely grip. Here we go. We can sit in the slipstream. Don't really want to make a move into 130R. Button's a bit further back as well, so he's probably not going to latch onto the back of us, which is fine. Through 130R. Then again, the Manners have stayed pretty well. Can we look to make a big diving move against Harrianto? Scare him out of the way. It's exactly what we've done. Around the outside of the second part of the chicane. And we're now up into a point-paying position. It's the start of lap 8. taking it cautious now. I don't want to make... One of the issues I had in Malaysia is I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm not as comfortable around Japan as I am around the track at Kuala Lumpur. As I talk about making mistakes, there is one. Get on the back of Verline, because Verline is just losing out to the group of cars ahead of him. If we can get onto the back of him and pass him, that's ideal situation. Welcome to everyone that's now just coming in. This is Season 2 of the F1 2016 Career Mode. As you'll be able to tell by the title and what I'm driving, we're in a Haas. It's getting to crunch time in the season. We're now looking to make up some points. Bad qualifying, I started 17th. But due to a first lap safety car, we were able to make a strategy change, and loads of the guys ahead of us have pitted. We're now up into 10th, chasing points. It's what we need. We're in a fierce Constructors' Championship battle with Renault and Williams. We need to be outscoring them as much as possible. Wow, even the Saubers are ahead of us. What has happened at the start of this race at the front end? More guys dive into the pits. That'll be the medium tyre runners now. We're up into 5th. Grosjean. Romain Grosjean leads the race for Haas as Perez goes through on Felipe Nasr. These guys are medium tyre runners as well, at least Nasr is. So Nasr is definitely going to be losing grip on those mediums. They're due to pit any time now if they're on that tyre. So we need to get past him as soon as. We don't want to make a bold move and lose any front wing. I think we'll just set him up like we've been setting up everyone else. Perez, Kvyat are on the hard tyres, so they're going to be going longer like myself. So all we need to do is worry about getting past Nasr here. It's a mistake. Gets us a decent run though. Not the ideal racing line by any stretch of the imagination. In the slipstream of Nasr. I think we could see a bold move into the chicane this time around. Oh, we're so much closer than we were against the Manor. Just getting it slowed down. Beautifully done. Perez peels into the pits. Well, well, well. This is interesting. Everyone peeling in. We've just done our personal best lap of the Grand Prix. We're up into 3rd place. Closing in on Danny Kvyat. And I mean, these hard tyres feel like they could go a lot longer. I mean, the hards are the mandatory tyre. Come on. Get it. There we go. Safety car. Why is the safety car out? Why is the safety car out? That's kind of really annoying. Did not need a safety car. I was on a charge. Right, let's keep the current strategy. I'm going to bring it in the end of this lap for hard tyres. I don't see the benefit of staying out on these really worn tyres. Actually, I could. Oh, I could. So I could and make them go really long. And that way I've got track position. Depends. What's Grosjean going to do? Is Grosjean going to pit? That's the question we need to ask. The answer is no. Grosjean has not pit. Danny Kvyat does pit. I'm pitting as well.
Pits.
Just got that slowed down. Oh no, Grosjean has pit. Oh my god, it didn't look like he had. Oh, but they've served him. Come on. Come on, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready. Don't keep me waiting. Oh, we've lost a little bit. Nothing too bad, nothing too bad. Okay, that's fine. It looked like Grosjean was still on the main circuit. But Grosjean's pit as well.
One stop left.
So have we, and now we're both on... Well, I'm on hard tyres. I can't speak for Grosjean. Hopefully, what this means is we can take this set of hard tyres a decent way into the Grand Prix and switch to soft tyres at the end and be fast. That's the strategy I'm going to work with. Second safety car, but no retirements. Definitely an interesting one. Don't know why the safety car would have been called out. Seeing as we're now in a bit of a lull in the Grand Prix, you know, behind the safety car, probably for a few laps. Anyone watching, feel free to post in chat. I'm able to look at it a little bit more now that we're under safety car period rather than just the straights. Where do you think we're going to finish today's race? That's an important question.
Conditions still remain dry for a while. We will update you if the outlook changes.
I'm on lean. Good. What do people think? Where are we going to finish the Japanese Grand Prix? Still a bit of Palmer's car on the right hand side there. It's definitely not safe. They should probably clear that up. This is getting juicy, this one. This Japanese Grand Prix is getting very juicy. A lot of excitement, a lot of potential. Massa just behind us in Williams. So we're outscoring them at the moment in the Constructors. Palmer there, out of the race. Not too sure where Magnussen is. He was behind us in the first safety car. Grosjean up in third at the moment on a fresh set of hard tyres. Hulkenberg ahead. I think is that Williams up ahead of Hulkenberg? If so, that could be Bottas. And if that is Bottas, then interesting times lay ahead. We were on a charge though, catching Danny Kvyat before this safety car. Keep focus. Yeah, it's definitely a Williams. That's a Williams. That's got to be Bottas up in fifth there. Sorry. So the safety car came out on lap 10. Lap 10, the safety car came out. So we should see it due to come in the end of next lap, I would say. End of next lap for the safety car to come in. And then we'll go racing. And then we'll see what we can do for the final half of the Japanese Grand Prix. We've already recovered all the fuel that we had lost. Could we see a repeat of Season 1 where I won the Japanese Grand Prix in a Renault, fighting off Hamilton and Rosberg right at the end of the race? Or will we see an upset? Strategy's pretty much fallen into place. Like, we fit a fresh set of hard tyres just as the safety car came out. So on fresh hards, they're barely getting worn behind the safety car, so they could go a long way. We can always go back and use soft tyres at the end, which is what I imagine Kvyat will do, seeing as he was on hard tyres. He's fit hard tyres, so he'll go to softs at the end. Just depends on how bad the tyres wear after the safety car. I tend to really play the strategy by ear. Like, I can't stick to like a planned strategy because you never know what's going to happen in the race. I could shred these tyres. Hell, I could get a puncture. Who knows? Safety car not coming in this lap either by the looks of things. So we've got one more lap behind it. Oh no, the safety car is coming in this lap. I will keep my mouth shut. So hopefully we can be more alert on this restart. Don't know where the green flag line is. It's right here, apparently. Come on, get a good drive. Traction wasn't the best. But we're in the slipstream of Kvyat. Oh, we're closing. We are closing. Can we make a move? No move into turn 1. Hamilton's been forced out by Bottas. Grosjean retains third. Here we go then. Back underway. Get the tyres back up to temperature. They're going to be cold. Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is up behind Hamilton. Hamilton not having a good restart by the looks of things. Kvyat looking a little slow out of the Degners. Or sorry, out of Dunlop, coming up towards the Degners. Hamilton is looking very vulnerable at this point. Hulkenberg's all over him. Massa is behind us. We're going to make a move on Kvyat just here. Hulkenberg is on medium tyres. That's interesting to note. He definitely won't be going as far into this Grand Prix. We're up into 7th now. Hopefully Hamilton continues to hold Hulkenberg up and we can get in on this. That'd be best case scenario, if at all possible. Get that front end in, dirty air. Bottas is up behind Grosjean, understandably so. Hulkenberg making the move on Hamilton. Hamilton looking very vulnerable in a straight line. I'm not going to risk a move into 130R. But we're going to do it into the chicane. Diving move. I didn't want it to be on both of them, but I had to try and get it slowed down. Can we get Hulkenberg on traction? No. We can't get him on the traction, but we can get into his slipstream. Heading towards turn 1. Down the inside. What's it going to be? Grosjean. Grosjean broke later. Or sorry, Hulkenberg broke later. But he went deep into the corner. And that's us up into 5th. Grosjean has lost a position to Bottas, which is understandable. The Williams is a much faster car. But we are up into 5th place at the Japanese Grand Prix. Marcus Ericsson is out of the Grand Prix. Not too sure what that's for. Don't really care what that's for. And now let's see if we can hunt down Romain Grosjean, who is on hard tyres. So we're both running a similar strategy. Got to be wary of Hulkenberg. You know, we got him on the as part of the restart. But, of course, he is in a faster car on a compound fresher tyre, or compound softer tyre, sorry. Coming out of Spoon, he's going to be in the slipstream. He's pretty close, and he does have Mercedes power. So if he wants to make a move, is he going to consider it? No, he smartly doesn't. He could into the chicane, but he doesn't. We sort of park it in the middle, make sure he doesn't get a good run on us. Grosjean dropping back from the Williams of Bottas. Hopefully we can try and get up behind him. DRS is enabled. Personal best lap of the Grand Prix. Break the slipstream against Hulkenberg. Force him to go to the outside again. He once again brakes later, but once again goes wide. That looks to be the issue that Marcus Ericsson had on the right-hand side there. So I don't know what strategy Grosjean is on, but if we do cruise up to the back of him, I hope that the Haas boys understand that we pit on the same lap. If I catch him, it's due to the fact I'm legitimately faster than him, and they'll be on the radio telling him not to fight me. That, or I will just go through. Car was unsettled, had to cut the corner a little bit, not proud of it. What is the alternate strategy? What is the alternate strategy? Cool. Whatever you say, Jeff. I'm just going to drive and do what's important to me. Oh, wheel on the grass. No ideal. We've got a bit more of a gap to Hulkenberg this time around, so we're probably not going to have to worry about him too much, which is good to know. Gap to Grosjean is 2.1. Take as much curb through the chicane as we can. What's the fuel like? Plus, still, lovely, good. We can look to save later on in the stint. Personal best again. We've gained a couple of positions. I've gone deep into turn one. Hulkenberg didn't take the opportunity. We've gained a position. I think Vettel came into the pits from what I briefly saw. $11 laps to go, including the one that we're on. .5 behind Grosjean now. We are gaining. Car got unsettled over the curb, giving Hulkenberg an opportunity to catch up to us. I would assume one of the cars driving off into the distance is a Red Bull, because they have clearly the fastest car in my career mode, and I would assume it's Verstappen, because Ricciardo got his pit stops all wrong under the first safety car. So that's an assumption. I think the other car is Raikkonen, as Hulkenberg is having a much better look at us this time around. Will he make a move into 130R? Doesn't look like it. He's smart. Nothing doing into the chicane either for the Force India driver. And we are catching Grosjean. Another car in the pits. There goes Hulkenberg, so his tyres don't last. It's a Haas 1-2. It's a Haas 1-2 as we go into lap 18 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Can there just be a red flag now? In fact, no. Someone take out Massa and then call a red flag so we get maximum points. That would be best case scenario. Well, Perez has passed him. Cool. So I think I'm going to drop it to standard now. Save a bit of fuel just in case I need to use some a little bit later. Or if I go to the soft tyres, I want to have some rich mix to play with. So we're not going to catch Grosjean as quickly as we have been. But at the same time, we're 1.2 behind him. Get a little bit closer. We will have DRS, which is very nice. State of the tyres at the moment, they're just about 30%. It's really sort of like 60% you have to be thinking about a pit stop. We put these tyres on lap 10, but they did do a lot of laps behind the safety car, so that means we're probably going to have to pit again. That's the most likely instance of what's going to happen here. So we've got a fresh set of soft tyres that we'll be able to go on at that point. everything's really kind of just falling into place at the moment. But then again, we could be so out of sync with everyone else, like we don't know what the strategy is. That was a bad entry to 130R.
The gap to the car behind is 5.0 seconds. Right,
Some information on Hamilton.
seems they fixed
Okay, so yeah, so that's confirmed that Hamilton did have a problem because they've now allegedly resolved it. Allegedly. Through the S's. Still a lot of front end grip, just going a little wide, dipping the tyres on the dirt and the dust. Grosjean able to keep the gap steady this time around. Like I say, I'm not running the higher fuel mixture. At the end of the day, the Drivers' Championship, I am ridiculously out of position due to some really lucky results. I should not be as high in the Drivers as I am, just on pace and merit. So, realistically, I have no absolute desire to pass Grosjean on the track. If we could stay 1-2 and just get all of these points, then that's perfect scenario. Like I say, I'm fighting there for the Constructors more now. If we can get Haas 4th in the Constructors, it'll be the second season in a row where the Constructor I'm driving for comes in 4th place. After last year with Renault. Or did we get 3rd last year? I can't remember. Anyway, Grosjean pulled out a bit of a lead of it on us that time around. I'm starting to gamble into the chicane, braking a little bit later, and it's not working out. Grosjean pits. Okay. So Grosjean pits.
He's in the pits.
Interesting. So Grosjean not going... Bloody hell. I accidentally knocked the stick on my controller. That got... What the hell has gone on here? I've got no grip. I knocked the stick on my controller, and that sent me off on the main straight. And then I got no grip through turn 1. What has happened? Okay, let's get back into the rhythm. So Grosjean not going as long as I am. Vettel and Rosberg behind, probably going to the end. I think that's a safe assumption. Don't think we can. But then again, if they pit the same time I pit, they can't either, right? That's the theory that I'm going to use. Oh God. Everything's gone to shit. It's like I've gained the lead of the race and I've forgotten how to drive an F1 car. Yeah, we're 3 seconds plus on this lap. Taking a sizable amount of curb on the first entry to the chicane. What are these guys doing? They're carrying on. Lovely. Well, looks like I've got a race on my hands here. With the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Vettel closing in. Cover the inside. Force him to go right. Or left, sorry. If he does. Oh, we've gone deep. There comes a certain point where you just don't want to make a pit stop in this race, and we're getting very close to that point. Like, probably end of next lap is the latest I would want to be making a pit stop. And so I kind of need to make my choice in my strategy sort of now. I mean, the tyres I think are going off at about 6% a lap. Let me check that next time around, because I'm scheduled to pit at end of lap 22 anyway. Let's run rich for a little while. Oh, Vettel's so close. Vettel's done me. Oh my god, Rosberg's up his inside. I'm backing out of that one. Vettel comes across. Oh, we've lost a bit of the front wing. We've lost a bit of the front wing. Great. Great. Well, that's made my choice very easy for what I'm doing. Oh, we've lifted off. I've lost a lot of time. Damn it! Misread that completely. Grosjean's on mediums. He should go to the end. I'm going to change my front wing. God, that's so annoying. That should have been 7 seconds faster, that pit stop. Here comes Alonso. We're out the points. Oh, hello, comeback drive. There's Massa. There's Magnussen. Well, it's really important that I pass those two. I need to pass them very soon because these tyres aren't going to go very long. Right, we're getting Magnussen into the chicane. Sorry, the hairpin. We just are. That was unstable. Under braking. Right, we need to push. God, I broke so early for Spoon. Yep, okay, cool. Thank you for telling me about the fuel. We need to use these fresh tyres and we need to use them now. If anyone else has to make a pit stop, they'll be coming in end of this lap. Right, there's one guy in. Massa's in 9th. Come on. Nope, we can't catch him. But we can through the deceleration. Can I look to force the issue? No, just a... Oh, Massa's made a mistake. I've not executed the move very well, but we're through up into 9th. That means we're outscoring Massa. Lovely. We need to now catch Alonso on the fresh rubber as this race winds down to a close. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. I'm now overdriving the car, I think. Need to concentrate. I'm so annoyed. We should not have had to change our front wing in that pit stop. God, I've taken it so badly through Spoon. We would have saved 8 seconds on that pit stop. I don't know where we would have come out, but it would have been higher than where we are now. Massa charging. Doesn't make a move into 130R. Don't blame him. Doesn't make a move into the chicane either. Right, so I think the only place we can now get is if we pass Alonso, that's our highest position that we could finish in. Massa goes to the inside. Here comes Magnussen. They've both gone deep. Lovely. We will cut straight back underneath them. Oh god, we've cut that massively. Right, we need to get ahead of Fernando. Come on, come on. I just can't gain enough time where I need to be, and now Massa's going to be right behind us again. God, this is frustrating. Massa makes a move. Oh, we duck underneath him. Just avoided clipping our front wing. I don't want to know how close we came to making contact with the back rear of that car. New personal best lap of the race. There goes Massa. Magnussen's going to be looking to make the move as well. Massa keeps it on the island. We just get it underneath him. Hamilton sets the fastest lap. I don't know where Hamilton is in this race. If he's just crossing the line, he's got to be right near the back of the field. Roughly where he started. Come on. We can get past Alonso. Traction out the hairpin. It's not very good. 2 laps to go. We're +2 on fuel. Oh, we might be getting slipstream. Massa's a little bit back. I don't think he's going to be coming through. Oh, we're going to have DRS. We're going to have DRS and slipstream against Alonso. He's as good as got into turn 1, I think. Oh, we got a bad run, though. Massa's behind. We're closing. Massa's on our outside. Massa makes the move. Forces me out. That puts me in a good position against Fernando, though. Round the outside. Can we make the move on the inside of the next corner? Fernando holds his foot in, but we've got him. Beautiful move on Alonso. Up into 26th. Up into 8th. That's as high as we're going to get in this Grand Prix. Yeah, I know. Kind of frustrating. It's only 8th, considering we were leading just a few laps ago, but what can I say? Alonso is all over us, though. Alonso hasn't got the straight line speed of the Williams, though. Oh, we've got that all out of shape, though. Back into Rich. Massa technically could get like a massive slingshot on us. Theoretically. Oh, Alonso's on the inside. Massa. Fernando, what are you doing? God, that was risky. I don't even want to know what Fernando was thinking. He nearly pulled out of the corner. Could have sent us into a massive spin. Right, so Alonso apparently has front wing damage. We'll pull out. He's got DRS and slipstream, though. What's Fernando doing? He's not gone past us, is what he's done. And we'll drop it back down to standard as we're on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Hulkenberg ahead of us. 7th. Grosjean looks like he's in 6th. Not 100% sure where Bottas is. I think he's probably outscoring both me and Grosjean, which is a little disappointing. But you win some, you lose some. If only we hadn't chipped the back of the Ferrari. Nico Rosberg wins the race. They didn't have to pit again. It would have been interesting to see if I could have gone to the end and fought it out with them, but yeah, we got front wing damage and it was only going to be beneficial for us to pit. Our race is not yet over, though. Fernando is only just behind us. Don't think he's going to be making a move. We've got just enough of a gap to him, I think. Come through. Yep. We're fine. Into the braking zone of the chicane. Keep it nice and controlled. We exit. And we come across the line. It's only 8th place, but we started 17th. I'll take 8th or 17th to 8th in the 3rd slowest car on the grid. Safety cars played their part. It could have been better as well if we hadn't got the front wing damage at the end. Who knows what our original strategy would have worked out to as well, you know. Bottas on the podium. That's not what I needed to see. That's not what I needed to see. So Bottas gets 15 points. Grosjean in 5th, I think he was, or 6th. Now Williams have outscored us. Williams have outscored us this weekend, I think. Let's have a little look-see, shall we?
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Ricciardo's strategy. That's a baffling one, if you ask me.
Who was your driver of the day? It's a tough
Hulkenberg with the 2-stop, guys ahead. Ran a 2-stop. I could have probably run a 2-stop, and we would have finished higher. But as a team, we get 12 points. Bottas beat that all in all. Massa got 1 point at the end. Perez did drop down. Raikkonen 15th, Hamilton 19th. Not a good weekend for the top boys. Not a good weekend for the top boys. Vettel re-overtakes Raikkonen in the Drivers' Championship. Daniel Ricciardo builds a 27-point lead. I think I mean, it's still mathematically possible for Hamilton and Verstappen to win this one. And Rosberg, technically. But I think we're probably going to see Daniel Ricciardo be Drivers' Champion. We retain 4th. We're now 10 points ahead of Williams and 15 points ahead of Renault. So that's that fight. It's going to be a tough one to the end of the season. Interesting Grand Prix, though. Went by a lot quicker than I thought it would, even though considering we had the 2 safety car periods, which took up a lot of time. We'll get those resource points, of course. And we're going to pretty much lose the rivalry to Raikkonen, but that's fine. Re-establish some love. Yeah, we failed to beat Grosjean, but Grosjean performed today. Grosjean put in a good performance today. So we have a little look at the laptop. I've put an engine upgrade on, so we'll get that next time out. I can't recall the next race off the top of my head. But we'll have an engine upgrade for that one. And then I might use resource points to get one more upgrade before the end of the season. I think that's my plan. I'm hoping to move to a bigger team next season. We will, of course, see how that plays out. But that's the end of this part of the stream. That's the end of the 17th part of Career Mode Season 2. What a race. I enjoyed it. 17th to 8th. Could have been better, but could have been worse. It's points. Points at the end of the day means prizes. I'd like to thank everyone who came out and watched. This video will be available on demand later this evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.